It began as a rumor whispered in online forums. A missing Simpsons episode, not a parody, not a joke. Something so disturbing that FOX executives swore it would never see the light of day. They called it Dead Bart. The story goes back to the early 1990s when The Simpsons was exploding in popularity. Matt Groening himself supposedly wrote an episode for season 1. It was different from the rest, too different. The studio staff who previewed it said it wasn't a comedy at all. It felt more like a funeral. The episode opened with the Simpson family boarding a plane. The animation was rougher than usual, the colors darker. The sky was gray, almost bruised. Then halfway through the flight, something went wrong. The camera stayed locked on Bart's face. He looked anxious, uneasy. And then, out of nowhere, the plane began to shake violently. The oxygen mask dropped. People screamed, but Bart just stared at the screen with wide, empty eyes. And then, the screen cut to static. When the picture returned, it showed a crudely drawn gravestone. It read, Bart Simpson, 1980 to 1991. What followed didn't even feel like a cartoon anymore. The family sat silently at the kitchen table. Nobody moved, nobody blinked. Their skin was pale, their eyes red-rimmed. The animation was eerily detailed, almost lifelike, as if someone had traced over real photographs. For nearly 7 minutes, nothing happened. No jokes, no dialogue. Just the sound of a faint wind, like a microphone picking up static. Then one by one, the characters began to cry. First Lisa, then Marge, then Homer. But their crying didn't sound like cartoon voices. It sounded real. Finally, the camera panned to Bart's empty chair, and the crying stopped. People who claim to have seen the episode say it ended with a montage of Springfield. The town was empty, abandoned. Every single building boarded up, every street silent. Then in the final shot, the camera zoomed into Bart's school photo, the one that hangs in the hallway of Springfield Elementary. Except this time, his face was bruised, lifeless, his eyes hollow. The screen faded to black. The credits rolled in silence. No laugh track, no music, nothing, just dead air. Fox never aired the episode. Supposedly, only a handful of tapes were ever made, and most were destroyed. But every few years, a copy surfaces online before being pulled almost immediately. Some say Groening himself begged the network to keep it hidden, because, according to the rumor, the episode didn't just show Bart's death. It showed death dates for every other character too. Homer, Marge, Lisa, even Maggie. Dates that some claim match the real death years of people connected to the show. But here's where it gets stranger. An anonymous animator once admitted that while working at FOX in the 90s, he saw the raw reels of Dead Bart. He said the death dates weren't just for characters. They also listed crew members, editors, animators, even producers. Dates stretching decades into the future. And one by one, many of those names have died in the exact years shown. There are darker rumors too. Some say if you manage to watch the episode to the very end without looking away, you'll start to see your own face appear in Springfield, hidden in windows, reflected in mirrors, sometimes even carved into tombstones in the background. Others claim the VHS tapes themselves are cursed. A collector who bought one online in the early 2000s supposedly had his player catch fire when he tried to rewind it. Another claimed the tape played on its own at night, even after being unplugged. And then there's the audio. When slowed down, fans insist you can hear faint whispers under the silence of the credits. A man's voice, calm, steady, repeating the same phrase over and over. You shouldn't be here. Is it real or just another creepypasta? No one knows for sure, but the whispers remain. Somewhere out there is the Simpsons episode Fox never wanted you to see. And if you ever find it, don't watch it alone.